Hey guys, making a quick video on really. Let me see if I can switch this around. There we go. Making a quick video mainly on why I decided to move to Oregon, and move out of California. And there's just so many reasons why. It's literally, I don't think I could make just one video on the reasons, because there's just so much craziness that's really gotten out of hand, and it's sad, and it's a state that was great, that I really liked growing up. You can't grow up that way anymore. It's just absurd. And I definitely think the decision I made was a great decision, best decision I've made. As far as I knew the writing kind of on the wall, nothing was really happening in California. You can't really work your way up very easily. And that was one of the final nails in the coffin. I had worked at Safeway, was given opportunities, really wasn't, but given opportunities to potentially be able to move up. And while I got those positions, I never really got paid, and California just doesn't help people that are in those situations as far as for work, which is absurd. I've had my most recent job where I was told, if I'm night crew manager, you do $10 an hour raise, and refused to give me paperwork, and then wasn't even given a choice. I was kind of just put in that position, and it was all basically what they had planned it that way, to get free work, free coverage, that kind of thing. That went on for a week, a little over a week, and then even the hard work that I put into that got all ruined. I had a good system, talked to other people, which other managers hadn't done, and yeah, just had big issue of, like, I put in all this hard work, got a system, communicated with others and other that were working in similar jobs as mine, had a lot of research and information put in, and meant nothing, and completely ruined in the span of a week. I know 2 or 3 weeks, about 2 to 3 weeks, when they had moved me to being a frozen manager, which I was told I was going to get a pay bump for that, and I never got that either. That was kind of the end of that, and then I went back to night crew, and all the hard work, like even the stuff in the back room, was not done. Even though it was said it was getting done, it wasn't. And it's like, well, that's just kind of the position they're putting themselves in, but it is what it is. Made do with what I could. And that's with a lot of grocery business in general. And I get it. But it's just very frustrating. And in Oregon, that's not so much the case. And I moved to Oregon, obviously. Other thing is safety. I've actually, there's been times where I just close my front door and I haven't even locked in. There's no issue, and it's crazy because you would never be able to do that in California. And now I'm not leaving the door unlocked for like a long time, but you have no idea what will happen. I was renting a room, and I have some photos that I could show, but to just prove my point that I'm not making this bullshit up, I'm really trying to give an honest opinion and my own experiences on what's going on in California, and it's even gotten worse and worse, and it's not going to be changing anytime soon. It's going to continue to go downhill, but it's really safety. I've driven just from where I was living to my work when I was in California, which is like a half mile away, just a half mile away. I could walk for 10 minutes. I walked for 10 minutes, but I would drive to work and then drive back home. And literally, I was talking to my roommate about all the craziness of how people just cannot drive. In California in general, it's gotten ridiculous. Nobody cares. That's really what it is. And literally, I pull out from the parking lot, start to pull out, car zooms right behind me, doesn't care. Another car afterwards just zooms, doesn't care, but I'm right there, and they almost hit me. So I end up going back, and it's the great thing that I did. You have to have a rear view camera. You'll get hit if you don't have one. It's crazy. But yeah, and then drive out of the parking lot, and then right after that, I end up going to the four-way intersection. Right at the four-way intersection, some crazy guy, probably on drugs, walking around in the middle of the street, yelling at people, and starts chasing after my car and other cars, and it's just that's normal. That's what's kind of considered normal as like a week-to-week basis. And it's just, and that's the other thing, is the drugs have just gotten out of control. Fentanyl is everywhere. People are on drugs, and people report them, and nothing happens. And sometimes when it's somebody that is trying to get off drugs, it seems like they're the ones that get caught, but it's weird. It's a weird system. I don't understand it. I don't try to figure it out anymore because it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's odd. But yeah, I have a couple of photos from when I was living, renting a room over at Power Inn, which isn't the greatest place to begin with, but that was the only place I could go, because I mean, that rent's insane. You'll be lucky to find a apartment, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, that's under $2,000 and a month, and not roach infested. It's going to be roach infested. That's what it is. And apartments in California are a little less than to be desired. But yeah, rented a room. Things were going all right, and then these people end up coming to the house. Let me see if it's gonna show next one. No. They end up going to the house and chase one of my roommates inside the house, and almost broke into the house, chasing him with a gun. And you can see he's got the gun kind of right behind there. So 2 people. This is security footage from the one of the neighbors' cameras, and this was shown to me and my roommate, and I just think it's odd. We had put a whole case and everything to the cops in Sacramento PD, and it just nothing was done. Nothing was done. It's ridiculous. With all this evidence, with the fact that we have cameras, and this happens all the time, and it's just, I've heard so many videos of people just calling the cops and them not doing anything. That's the norm. It's literally up to us as civilians to defend ourselves, and if you defend yourself, there's no telling how that's going to end up for you. And it's like there's no safety, no security in California. Like, somebody could literally break into your house and you could get in trouble. I've heard people get in trouble for that too, and I know people that's happened, and it's ridiculous. It's just on the cops, even with medical in some areas. It's so strange. I don't get it. Medical. I've had actually pretty much no issues medical wise until a most recent kind of issue where I was injured and stuff from an accident, and I was literally right after they did some blood tests and stuff, and then they said, all right, your time's up, and they gave me a Sprite, and that was it. A Sprite and a little bit of water, and that was it. And I literally was trying to find a hotel, because this was during the process I was moving, and literally I could barely walk, and I actually had to stop, and it was also super hot in that area. But anyways, medical's kind of just gone down, medical field in that sense. However, I do think there's areas, like if you go to like Kaiser, or whoops, this phone is not saying it right, Kaiser, or some places that are really good places that it'll be good. But yeah, that, for whatever reason, that emergency room did not help, and I'm injured, even though they said it was going to be like, well, you should be fine in a week or two, and it's not. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't standing well. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's just that's why, and I thought it was funny that it happened then, but it just proved that my move is a good move, and a move that I needed. There's more opportunities, more fair opportunities, and that's a big thing. And then in California, it's not as fair as far as for applications who gets a job. People get fired for the oddest things, and then people also get let go for no reason. Yeah, it's odd. It's just odd. It's an odd time right now, and there's more, like I said, more opportunities in Oregon as far as job-wise, medical, and people care. That's the thing. In California, nobody cares about anybody but themselves. I would put the fine line of family. But besides that, that's really it. Nobody cares. Nobody tries to help one another. And it's really just sad. It's sad. I mean, I was living in my previous place where I was renting a room. I was living in Davis, and hardly anybody would talk to each other. Hardly ever. Once in a blue moon, really. And it was very odd. And since I moved into Oregon, within a week, I'd made 4 friends actually. Had full-on conversations with other people. You just don't get that in California. It's the strangest thing. It is so much easier to make friends and communicate and feel like you're part of a community. It's just the thing when they talk about, like, politics and stuff about the communities, and California, there isn't a community. It's odd, and the only communities are the ones that are like where the homeless are, or not the low income housing and that kind of thing. But that's because everybody understands we gotta help each other to survive. And it's just it's the oddest thing, the selfishness, the self-centeredness. It's just odd. I don't get it. I really don't. And it's literally it's also shown when there's taxes and political issues. With the taxes and political issues that are going on in California, it's just the answer is more money, take more money. So it's just really all odd, and I just was fed up with it all, and there was no reason for me to stay in California, and that's why I moved. My apartment that I'm living in right now, $16.90. It's cheaper than a 1-bedroom that is roach infested in California, in a low income area. That's crazy. Like, this place got new carpet, new wood floors, and it only costs that. It's insane. So that's why I moved out of California. There was just no other reason. I'm not going to be able to get my own place in California. It would the way that I was getting paid for my jobs and that kind of thing. That's the facts. And I can actually afford, get a job, and be able to maintain having an apartment. And with all the experience and everything, I should be at that point. I should have been at that point, but it just wasn't the case. It's odd. It's very odd. California is just an odd state. And the state it's in is just, it's sad. Because that's not how I grew up in California. But anyways, that is my reason for moving out. Yeah, I knew within the first week that I made the right decision. It's like I'm in a totally different country in a sense, because it's so different, and just moving from one state to another, that's not even that far, how drastically the change is. It's crazy. It is crazy. So it is what it is. I'm happy with the move that I made, and don't be. I guess the point is, don't be afraid to make a big change if you need to make a big change. I spent years thinking about this, and as the years were going by, I got more and more reasons to move out. You can sit and think about it for a while. You don't have to rush, but if you want to get it over with and get it done, and kind of try to rush it, sure. But I'm happy with my decision. This is why I moved, and I'm super happy with it. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.